Hi everyone. Today I'm going to go over a quick do-it-yourself about how to reuse supplier profile questionnaire content in surveys and events in Ariba sourcing and supplier performance management surveys. Now, most likely you've configured a supplier profile questionnaire, or SPQ as I'll refer to it, during implementation of Ariba. And in that questionnaire, you've probably customized some basic and also some more detailed information, perhaps based on supplier segmentation, that you'll be obtaining from each supplier whenever they onboard and create an Ariba Cloud account for your organization. Instead of asking the supplier to fill in that information again in an RFP or a survey, or asking it again at RFP time because you want to make sure you have the most up-to-date information, we can simply copy this content from the supplier profile questionnaire to an RFP or a survey or an RFP survey template. When you import those objects from the questionnaire, you can choose to automatically populate the existing responses that the supplier has already filled in, or you can ask them to sort of recheck and update their responses by pulling over the objects and populating their current responses as the initial response in the RFP or the survey. The value in this is that you can recycle the content in the event. You can also keep the event content a little bit more lean, right? Only perhaps asking suppliers to update the most vital information. And if you pull the information from the SPQ to the event or the survey, and the supplier happens to update that information, the updated response will also synchronize back to their supplier profile. This is a really simple DIY I'm going to show you here within an ad hoc sourcing event, but this could be done at the template level as well. So in the content step, right, I've created a section here actually where I just have general supplier information. I'll click on it, and within this section, I want to add some content from the library. This will take me to the sourcing library, and if I scroll down here towards the end, I have some custom content in the library here. But towards the end, you'll see the supplier knowledge area. Okay, this is a supplier profile questionnaire. This is where we'll pull in the objects we've already created in the SPQ. So I'll choose the supplier profile questionnaire and click select. And here I'll see a couple options. Since I created it inside of a section, I want to add it inside that section. And here the first question it'll ask me is if I want to copy the responses as initial values instead of just pulling over the information. Now you would want to check this box if you want the supplier to update the response that they might have previously given you in their SPQ. So I'll click that. And I'm going to unclick copy visibility conditions. I don't have any built into this one, but if you do, it's better just to untick it. And then I'll scroll down into my SPQ, and I will choose some of the information that I'd like to pull over to my RFP. Perhaps the information that I want to make sure that I have most up to date at the time of my RFP. So corporate address, main phone, perhaps list of commodities supplied, and, tax ID number, and DUNS. Those are probably important pieces of information I want to make sure that are up to date at the time of my RFP. I'll click copy. And as you can see here back in the content tab of the ad hoc event I've created, I have the information here directly from the SPQ. Okay. And you can see this little trident here identifies that I have copied these, and the information that was already populated in the SPQ will be copied over per supplier as an initial response. When the RFP opens, they'll be able to review this information, and if they wish or need to, they can update the information. When they submit their response, not only will we see it in the RFP, it will also synchronize back to their supplier profile questionnaire. The way I've copied these over as is, the response for the supplier will suggest what they've already filled in the SPQ. If you want to force the supplier to cognizantly update the information and not just confirm what they had already filled in their supplier profile, for example, if it's a really critical piece of information, you can do that here. If you click on one of these objects you've copied over, Action Edit, and you can actually scroll down here and remove the participant's specific initial values. Okay, and if you make the response required by the participant, this would mean that at RFP time, even though they've already filled out this information in the supplier profile, you're going to force them and ask them to update it again because it's very critical, and they can give you the most updated piece of information. And again, after the event closes, it will synchronize back to the supplier profile. For more information on this, you can actually access via Help Center in Ariba. And if you type in the keywords how to add supplier profile questionnaire content, hit enter here and search, it'll bring you some information here from the official documentation about how to carry this out as well. And that being said, I hope you've enjoyed the DIY, and I look forward to doing some more on SIPM and SLP.